Good morning, and welcome to the Bridgeport Police Department. I'm Chief Roderick Porter with the Bridgeport Police Department. I just wanted to give a quick statement regarding the shooting that we had last week involving our officers, and then I'll take a few questions. I just want to preface everything with this investigation is headed by the Inspector General's office, and any information regarding the investigation will come from their office going forward. If I can, I'll share an update periodically, but for the most part, everything will come from the Inspector General's office. I just want to state at this time that all of our officers are home that were involved in this incident. The officer who was injured, she was released from the hospital. Her injuries are okay. She's healing from those injuries. They were non-life-threatening, and I don't believe they're going to be long-lasting or impactful on her physically. Obviously, emotionally, there may be some things that she has to address and deal with. The other officers involved, there's one who's on administrative status, the officer who actually discharged his firearm. He's on administrative status assigned out of my office at this time. The others are out for fitness for their sick leave at this point, and they are all receiving the support and the resources that we have available to them, our peer support team and other resources to make sure that they're okay. I want to say that from my perspective, that my officers acted professionally, and they acted according to their training, and they showed due care in this situation, not only for the suspect, for his family as well. I also want to say to the family that my prayers are with them. I hope that their loved one recovers, and I hope that they also receive the support that they may need, because this is obviously a tragic and a very emotional situation, traumatic situation for them as well. So I hope that they receive some support as well regarding this situation. I also wanted to just kind of briefly touch on mental health and just say that if there's anyone out there who has a family member or who themselves may have some mental health issue, it's okay to get help, and you need to get help. And if you're taking medications, you need to make sure you stay on those medications because it's really important. Yeah, to anyone out there, if you know a family member, or if you yourself or experience some difficulties emotionally, you need to make sure you need to get the help and support that you need. I want to say that regarding this particular incident, our officers, this was not the first time that we responded to this address. Our officers had responded there in the last couple of years regarding a situation where our officers were attacked, and also the medics were attacked while trying to help a person who was in crisis again. So this is not the first time with this situation, this individual. Our officers had been there in the past, and it was a violent situation in the previous time that they were there as well. So I just wanted to mention that. Beyond that, this call originated initially as basically just a call for help to assist the medics. There was an individual who was not taking their meds and in some type of emotional or mental health crisis at that particular time. But beyond that, I'll take some questions from you at this time.
When you say that they've been to this address and officers and medics have been attacked before, was it by that specific individual, and how many times has that happened / the severity?
So I know of one, and yes, I believe it is the same. It is the same individual, yes. I think in 2022. One of our officers was struck. I believe a medic was injured, so it was a physical altercation.
How do officers kind of go into a call like that? Obviously, they're prepared for everything, but knowing that there's a history at a certain home with a certain individual, how do they go in knowing what could happen?
So obviously, when you go to a call like that, you kind of pre-plan and play out in your mind how you're going to respond and react to a situation like that. So you try to keep as much distance. If you watch this video, our officers try to use their verbal judo skills to try and talk to this person. So I think those are all the things that go into a place to make sure that the situation is safe for you as well as the individual as much as you can.
And can you, just to be sure we all have it, can you say the pronunciation for both Officer Maria and the one that shot his gun? Can you just say their first and last names?
So Marie Setti and Jesse Jimenez. So Officer Marie Setti and Officer Jesse Jimenez.
Is there any specialized training that officers get prior to, of course, when dealing with individuals like this, and is it renewed? Does it happen more than once?
Yeah, so we do go through trainings to recognize and deal with individuals who might be in some type of emotional or mental health crisis. Many of our officers are critical incident trained. We call it CIT training, just to give extra training on how to deal with and how to recognize the signs of someone who is in a situation where they're having a mental health crisis, yes.
Do you know how long that the officers had been standing on the porch trying to talk to him before we got the point of the video, which was about a minute or so before it happened?
Yeah, I don't know the exact time, but it was a short period of time. Things escalated rather fast in that situation.
In some cities, for things like this, they've got teams that they've newly created to deal with people in mental health crises like this, so that officers don't necessarily get called out to a situation like this. Does Bridgeport have anything like that in the works?
Yeah, we do have a team like that, and actually we are in the process of trying to build upon that team. We've applied for some grant monies through Congressman Himes' office, and we're going to actually build our team to make it even better. But this situation those teams are always good, but this is a situation where I don't think that would have been necessarily effective. I just think that this person was at a point where it was going to involve some type of police actions or intervention.
The individual that you can see in the video, that eventually, while he's turned around back to officers, the individual comes up and kind of stands behind him, and then that person is who looks like they unlock the door and he comes out. Yeah. Is that person facing any charges or anything related?
No, that person actually assisted us to some degree, yes.
Okay.
Anyone else? No.
Is
So
there going to be any kind of internal investigation on that?
yeah. So as always, when there's an officer-involved incident like this, we initially defer to the Inspector General's office, and they will do their investigation. But at some point, we've already initiated an internal investigation, but they will kind of work simultaneously, but kind of stand back a little bit until the Inspector General's report is concluded. But yes, there will be an internal investigation. And also, in any situation like this, we try to learn and improve upon the police tactics. So there'll be a training review as well to see if we could have done things better.
And last question for me. You
Sure.
said others are out on sick leave. Is that 3 officers, including the one that was attacked?
Yes. Well, 1 is on administrative status, and 2 are on sick leave.
Okay.
Yes.
And was it 4 officers total there?
Yes. Others came, but the primary officers, there were 4 officers. Yes, that's correct. Anyone else? All right. Thanks for coming.